Hello, my name's Paul Bartholomew, talking on behalf of Birmingham City University's T-SPARC project, T-SPARC standing for Technology Supported Processes for Agile and Responsive Curricula. Now obviously this is just a 3-minute video, so we're just going to focus on one or two issues of interest. The main tranche of our work has really been in working through existing university mechanisms. I mean such things as the Learning and Teaching Committee, or the working group that's looking at the Learning Community Initiative, which is a student engagement agenda. But most of all, I'm talking about a working group that is looking at redesign of the review and approval mechanisms. Why am I pulling out that one for the purposes of this? Well, let's listen to a few of our stakeholders and see what they've got to say.
I don't think that approval and reapproval processes, policies, procedures, whichever you wish to call them, are much to do with course design.
When you sit through the formal review meetings, a lot of it is you start off and they have a series of questions which they submit in advance, as you appreciate, and we can often respond to those. But most of those questions tend to come about because of a failure to grasp what we've actually put into the formal documentation.
Usually by the time you've had that breathing space in between submitting the documentation and actually getting to the approval event, you've had ideas to think, well, actually I'm not sure that that's going to work. But that doesn't come out of the process. They're often concerned about silly little things rather than how are you actually going to ensure that this happens or that happens, or what's this going to look like when you put it into a classroom.
There'll be some insane debate about whether or not we have observation or reflective observation or analysis or critical analysis, and a lengthy 20-minute academic discussion that has no impact on what follows after they've changed the wordage.
As you saw from those clips, one of the things that programme teams are telling us is that they feel that that review and approval process is a little bit inauthentic. It doesn't allow for some of the rich discourse to take place, and it really doesn't reflect adequately the work that they've put into the programme. So one of the things that we're trying to do is to make those events rather more authentic. And the way that we're going to approach that is to use more multimedia to try and give a fairer representation of the sorts of work that programme teams have done, and to share more effectively some of that design rationale.
Capturing that sort of rich media into an e-portfolio tells you so much more. It's so much more powerful to show that sort of evidence to a panel than a few academic words.
Hopefully that gives you some insight into some of the things that we're doing. I really do think this kind of new approach to how we work with the review and approval panels will prove to be something worth doing.